Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Stu Sutclif here. It's glad to be making a video to you all. We got some important stuff to cover this time around. Usually this time of year before the press conferences, I write a list of questions that I myself, Stu Sutclif, faithfully converting oxygen into carbon dioxide on a daily basis, would ask. And I have done so this year. There's 100 questions I could ask law enforcement at the next press conference coming up here in 2020. Of course, I won't go over there. They won't take my questions by mail or anything like that. But I've compiled a list of questions I will ask over the air here on my channel, and they won't get answered, but at least somebody will hear them, right? Okay. So I got a list of 13 questions. It'll go rather quickly. I'm also looking over some of the transcripts from the last presser on April 22nd of 2019. And one thing that's interesting about this, they presented the video of a bridge guy walking and the guys down the hill. But one sentence in the transcripts from the presser, it's curious. He says, to the family, I hope that you all, and that includes the media, will give them some time because we're going to be asking that there is no media inquiry or no media response for at least the next 2 weeks. Does anybody know what the hell that means? Did we ever get a follow-up on that? I don't think so. I doubt it. So that's part of the mind-boggling presser of 2019, April 22nd, that really, really sucked. And I'll tell you how bad it sucked when I read these questions. Okay, so here we go, without any further delay. Question number 1 that Stu Sutclif would ask law enforcement about the Delphi murder case at a press conference. Question number 1. First and foremost, why has there been no arrests yet in the murders of Libby and Abby? It's a fair question. Why? What's the reason or excuse? Does anybody in law enforcement know? Of course somebody knows. They all know. Question number 2. The last press conference on April 22nd, 2019 was not well received by most people. That's not news to anybody, is it? It was confusing to most outsiders and probably a few insiders too. And put the Delphi community on edge because Indiana State Police spokesman DOUG Carter made references to the effect that the killer could possibly be in the room at that very moment. He made a reference to a Hollywood movie and what appears to be the Bible, and how law enforcement shifted gears, and how the killer has changed. If you still believe this, could you elaborate? Because the public has no clue what you were inferring to back in last April. Question number 3. The presser of last April 22nd, 2019 was more emotional than substance. Most would agree this was not helpful at all. It has been 3 years now. Are you still going to treat us like children and instruct us on how to look for a suspect? How do you know this was about power to the killer? How would you imply you know... No, I'm sorry. Let me do that again. How do you know that this was about power to the killer? That would imply you know the motive. Everybody's got dogs barking in the background of their videos. I think everybody in the world's got a freaking dog. So, number... How did I skip a page? Oh well. Ah. Doug Carter stated, "Never in my career have I stood in front of something like this. Please be patient with us. Please, we are just beginning." Well then, Mr. Carter, what were you doing for the first 2+ years if you're just beginning? Question number 3, or 3.5, sorry. Question 3.5. This is a short question. This is a very important question, ladies and gentlemen. Please understand that for some time now, many social media participants have regularly, openly, flat out accused innocent people by their real names and without fear of lawsuits. We know who you are. Some of these accusers are quite adamant and vocal. I will use for my example some of the people being accused of murders of conspiring to murder as the LaFawns, Flannel Shirt Guy, Thomas Bruce, and countless others. This abomination could easily be corrected if only law enforcement would simply tell us who has been cleared, how they can accept what's going on, and not apply a simple remedy to narrow things down is beyond reasoning. Question number 4. Are we going to get a third sketch? I like that one. What is the present status on the first 2 sketches? Good question, Stu. Does law enforcement believe this crime was random, planned, or a payback? This is question number 5, by the way. Does law enforcement believe this crime was random, planned, or a payback? Any ideas? Were there signs of sexual abuse on the girls' remains? Was there semen collected at the site or sites? Is there just one location of the Delphi murders of Libby and Abby? Or a second related crime scene? Number 8. When the girls were found, did the searchers move, touch, or contaminate the crime scene before the cops arrived at the location? Another good question. Why was there, question number 9, why was there no obvious concern immediately after the killings were discovered to warn the town of Delphi that there's a madman on the loose and to take appropriate steps to protect themselves? Why? Why didn't they say, okay, we got a killer on the loose, people, lock your doors tonight? They didn't say anything like that. It's like, oh, we already knew what the deal is there. We know that there won't be another killing. Somebody knows something. That's pretty crazy. This is considered very unusual and most talked about. What other investigative tools are left for you after 3 years? Seems like only a verbal tip will result in an arrest of this case at this stage. Bridge guy, if that's him, is an organized killer. Question 11. Many believe the killer is a powerful insider that is being protected. What is your take on that? Question number 12. Please tell us, we the people, about the terms of the $230,000 reward. How is it possible this staggering amount has not made someone talk? My last question, even though I'm probably eventually going to write out 100 or more. We'll end it at number 13. It has been said that there are 2 different dates that the girls died on. Is that true? And if so, why? That's either the death certificates or the actual tombstones have the different date. I was told that it's both. And I was also told that Anna wanted a date on differently. than Libby's date. That doesn't make a lot of sense. So there you have it. Just a brief little questionnaire for law enforcement by proxy. And you know, I don't even know at this making of this video, I don't even know what the hell the date is today. Sometime another phone out. Oh, what's this? Somebody sent me this. Does anybody know what this thing is? It says RCA on it. 5U4. It's an interesting little thing. I think I'll take it outside and use it for target practice with my pellet gun. So today's date, as when this video is made, is January 28th. And as of this video, no date has been set for a Delphi press conference with law enforcement. I'm sure there'll be one. So if there's not one, oh my God, people are going to raise holy hell. But, my advice to the pressers, when they start pressing, is to think of the people a little bit more and who you're talking to. And you're the public servant, and you work for them. Alrighty, that's it for now. With all the news that is news in the nation. No, not really. If any of our content providers out there would like to pose some of their own questions, that would be pretty cool. Put a little heat, put a little pressure on law enforcement. I don't think they've ever thanked any of us, but we don't do it for their thank you. We don't do what we do to be thanked. But you know, they probably most people in law enforcement probably think the social media and the YouTubers really suck, right? Wouldn't that make a lot of sense? Would probably hamper them and get in their way. Especially these a few people out here that want to submit thousands of pages that they compiled on their own and hold up the investigation. That's why the cops don't want to look at anything. You see any cops, any of the content providers have the police knock at your door and say, oh, we love your memoirs, we love your notes on this, we need them to help solve the case. Could you please fax us a few copies? I don't think that's happened at all. We haven't done any better than law enforcement has. So let's wait and see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. And in February of 2020, let's hope that today will be the day, and this case will get solved. If it's not, I'll be back here next year about the same time with a few more questions. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hitting the stop button now. Everybody have a great day. Bye.